East, obviously Doha in the Gulf, which is normally a very arid environment. But there's a lot of urbanization at the moment, and again, it's about how to use the water in a sustainable way, and manage it so that the growing population will have enough water. This particular journal article is coming from Engineering Sustainability, which is another one of our key titles from the IC Proceedings series. And then I've also referenced some books. So we have Basic Water Treatment, which is now in its 6th edition. And this title is again looking at all those important processes you need to go through to make sure that the water is sanitized, but sanitized in a sustainable way. And I've referenced at the bottom here in both the journals and the ebooks that these particular products are available across a range of collections that we offer. So that's packages of content across ebooks and journals. And I'll talk a little bit more about those a little bit later on in the slide, so you can learn more about how the content can be acquired. So going back to the ebooks, there is one here, Reservoir Management, which is again a title looking at how to obviously manage reservoirs and dams, and to make sure that is managed in a sustainable way, taking into account the ecological impact, as well as making sure that it serves its purpose to provide water to populations. So that's just some examples of content that supports this particular goal in clean water. And then if I move on to the next slide, we have one on sustainable cities and communities. And as we know, big movements of population, big cities now across the world. And we need to make sure that they work in a safe way, and that they can continue to support the populations. So we have, again, a title here, which is looking at urban infrastructure planning and how to make sure that future planning of urban areas is done so sustainably, and that it allows those communities to continue to live and work in these big growing cities. And then we have another one, which is again looking at urban planning. This is our Urban Design and Planning Journal. And this one is quite an interesting concept about how to help with those issues around growing populations through floating cities. So it's another innovative idea that civil engineers have come up with to find out how they can help with those issues around growing populations. And then we have an ebook, a list. There's quite a number of ebook titles that we have. So Underground Spaces. So that's, again, another innovative idea from engineers around building underground to save space and to allow communities to continue to grow in a sustainable way. So cities of the future, spaces could potentially be underground as well. And then blue-green cities, which is very topical for any areas where there's, flood risk, and looking at how the infrastructure can mitigate those flood risk issues. And then finally, energy and mobility in smart cities. This ebook looks at how the actual ideas around autonomous vehicles or other ways to provide more effective transport solutions can help to reduce the pollution and also the traffic. We all know that we go to big cities, there's lots of traffic, which means lots of pollution. So this title is looking at solutions for that. And then if I move on to climate action, again, a big issue, as we know, in the world today. I don't think anyone is immune to, unfortunately, the climate change and what it means for us. So this is really looking at some journals which cover this particular topic. So this is again Engineering Sustainability, which is a journal I think I referenced in another slide. But this has an impact, and this has an article rather on assessing the impact of infrastructure projects on the sustainability goals of the UN. So it gives some examples of projects that are successful in achieving those sustainable development goals. And then we have a special issue in our Civil Engineering Journal, that's also from the proceedings of the Institution of Civil Engineers. And this is just looking at climate change and all of those challenges around climate change and how civil engineers can help to mitigate those changes through different projects. So it's a mix of different articles that you can understand more about how engineers are able to help to mitigate those problems. And then we have two titles here on eBooks, Coastal Management 2019, which is looking about how to manage coasts and how to make sure that the environment is protected through initiatives around structures along the coast. And then we have a renewable energy title here, which is wind turbine foundations. So many of you may have seen that on the coast in lots of countries now, there are these turbines helping to generate wind energy, which all supports obviously the pollution or mitigates the pollution, which all contributes towards changes to our climate. So the books and the articles here, I've provided links to, which would take you straight to the virtual library platform. So if I quickly go to one of these links here at the top, I can hopefully link to that. Let's see if it's going to work. Let's have a go. It doesn't seem to be wanting to link. We'll try another slide and see if that will work on the next slide. So just going back to themed issues, which I mentioned earlier, we do have a call for papers actually for a particular new themed issue, which is coming with our Structures and Buildings journal. So this journal here will be wanting content from contributors to support this new themed issue. So please do circulate this to your faculty if they're interested in contributing to a new themed issue. It's an opportunity for faculty to write an abstract and to then send that in to be approved. So that's the link you can go to find out a little bit more about that particular themed issue and the topics that are going to be covered. So things like energy, advanced materials to support the use of concrete, lots of new design and alternative material ideas. So new ideas in terms of infrastructure and practices will be going into this themed issue, which will be basically the full submission will be made by the 31st of August of this year, with a view to being published in 2022. Okay. And then, as I mentioned here, I'm going to just talk through some of the actual products that I mentioned before. So the journal packages that we have and some of the titles that we offer. So we have in total, there's 35 journals in total, including one gold open access journal, which is geotechnical research. And the other journals are all hybrid journals. So there's a lot of research there within ground engineering, for example, with geotechnique, and also with construction materials through the Magazine of Concrete Research. And then we have the specialist engineering journals, which made up of the IC proceedings titles, which I think I mentioned in the slide earlier. So these specialist engineering journals are focused on different subdisciplines within civil engineering. So anything from water to energy to urban planning. And then we also have some journals in material sciences as well. So things like green materials and new technologies for making materials as well. And all of the journals are peer reviewed, so we make sure that the content that is submitted is checked and reviewed, and we try and link the content back to best practice. There is a back file, and there is then also the current content as well. And these examples here below list the different packages that you can purchase or subscribe to. And I'm going to see if this link works. Hopefully this one might do. Let's have a look. This one might work. Yes. So I'm probably going to have to just wait for it to load. So hopefully you can now see my screen here. This is a complete engineering journal collection, which I mentioned before. Is a package of the 30 journals, and it includes current and archive content. So that's dating back to 1836. And you can actually go and see some of the other information for librarians here in particular. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the ICE in general and the benefits.
Hello, Rachel.
I believe subscribing.
It's still stuck on your presentation.
Ah, right. Thank you for that. I shall do a new share.
Yeah, unshare your current screen and you can share your monitor.
Cool. Right. So let me just go to that one and share. Hopefully that has now shared with you guys.
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll quickly go back then to the product page again here, and to the journals page that I was referencing before, and the complete engineering journal collection, which, as I mentioned, has 30 titles with access back to 1836. And then the other options are the current engineering journal, which actually has a slightly smaller file going back just to 2003. And then the Specialist Engineering Journal collection, which is the ICE proceedings. And then also the science. So they're packaged together, so you get quite a cost-effective solution to a range of different journals. And if I quickly go back to just to my presentation again, which hopefully will load in a minute. Let's go back, and I'll quickly move now to the next slide, which I referenced before a little bit. We have quite a deep archive to all of the journal content, so you're able to obviously subscribe to the archive through the complete collection, but you can also purchase archives from us as well. So some of the archives go back to 1836 in some cases. Some of them are more recent archives, but there's a pick and choose option here for the archives. So maybe if I just go and link to perhaps one of these pages here, the Advances in Cement Research, I'll probably have to do a new share once that's loaded. Okay, so let's go to this one and share. Hopefully you can see this one now. So this is just an example of the Advances in Cement Research archive. And we have other benefits as well if you're purchasing content from us. If I go to the benefits of purchasing, we don't have any hosting fee. So any content that you purchase from us, you pay just the one price. And there is also a secure archiving through Portigo in the event that anything were to happen to the ICE publishing division. So if I go back again to my presentation on this side here. And I'm just going to go back then to the ebooks. I mentioned quite a few of the ebooks as part of my presentation again, and how the content can cross lots of different areas. So there's over 1,500 ebooks available, and we also have lots of new titles that are added annually. And there's quite a range of different types of content. So some of the titles are more sort of best practice, and some are more reference works. And then we have codes as well with some of our books. And they range, the audience will be quite a big range. So civil engineers, but in some cases also architects and surveyors. So there's a big audience for this content. And the ebooks will be available in a number of different ways. So single ebooks, or you can subscribe to packages. And if you do single titles, they're available as perpetual rights. And if you do some of the packages, they're available both as perpetual rights or as subscriptions. So I'm just going to quickly go to one of the collection pages here, and hopefully that will work as a link, and I'll do a new share. Okay. So there is the page, hopefully loading now for the ICE complete ebook collection. And if you go to products and prices, and then you go to ebooks, you can find out a little bit more about the different models that we offer and the different types of packages you can purchase from us or subscribe from us. So there's lots of different subject-specific collections, or you can go for a more all-encompassing collection of content there. And we also offer an evidence-based acquisition model, which allows you to subscribe to content over a longer period of time and then purchase content around the usage statistics over that period. And then if I just pop back to the presentation again. And then these are just some of the benefits. I've already mentioned some of them anyway. But this particular list will show things around, obviously, peer review, unlimited users, no platform fee, and also the fact that we supply the metadata, mark records, which will help when you're obviously trying to make that content discoverable across your library catalogue.
Rachel, we lost you there for a second.
Rachel?
Yeah.
Rachel,
Hopefully you can hear and see me again now. I'm just going to reshare my screen again. That's always the way, just when you want to do a presentation. Right,
Okay.
let's go back to where was I now? Yeah, librarian benefits. So hopefully you can see my screen again now. Sorry about that technical hitch. So the authors here, yeah, we have quite a wide range of authors. There's 165 authors from the Latin American region, and they are contributing from lots of different universities and also from corporate companies as well. So we have practitioner and academics. And the other interesting part, I think, is that we do support different authentication methods, particularly now lots of institutions are working remotely and their students are working remotely. We allow that ease of access to the content offsite with no restrictions to the number of users. So we continue to do that, and hope that that helps with those that are continuing to work remotely. Okay. And I just wanted to flag up to you as well that we do have a special offer for those who are attending the Latin American online conference here. So that includes a free 2-month trial. So anything from May through till the end of June. You'll be able to have a free trial to some ebook or journal collections from the institution. We can set that up for you with the support of ITMS and Ingrid. With IP ranges, we can set that up. And also then, on top of that, there are already some regional pricing structures in place for Latin American customers, but we're going to be putting into place an extra 10% discount, which will be valid until the 30th of September for any ebook or journal collection. So Ingrid is probably your best person to contact if you want to know more about this special offer. Please do get in touch with her, and we can set something up for you. And then I'm just going to go to the quiz, right? So this is hopefully where you have a chance to win some prizes. So I'm going to start with the first quiz question, and I'm going to speak extra slowly to allow the translators to give the questions to you. And good luck. Good luck. So the first question is, in what year was the SDG Publishers Compact launched? So that's the Sustainability Development Goals Publishers Compact launched. What year? And you can put your answers in the chat. Hopefully you can find
Rachel?
the answer. Yes.
Sorry, Rachel. Christian Alejandro is he said 1982, and Sandra Cáceres is telling us 1986.
Oh, a little bit more recent. A little bit more recent.
So either okay. So Christian and Sandra. Okay, in 1986.
Rachel, actually, they can use the private Q&A to send messages, and maybe they can use that option to send the responses.
Yeah, I mean, we can give people time after the conference, after the presentation as well, so they don't have to answer now. Because there's going to be 5 winners, so we can wait until we've got all the answers in potentially, and then decide.
Okay, I think that's a great idea.
Does that sound a good idea?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Great.
Why don't you send those questions directly to Ingrid's email? Ingrid, if you can put your email.
Yeah.
Las preguntas del quiz para que ganen, si le pueden enviar un correo electrónico a ingrid.serrano@itmsgroup.net con las respuestas de estas 5 preguntas para ver quién es el ganador o los ganadores, los 5 ganadores de los premios, para después hacer un seguimiento con ustedes y entregárselos.
Great.
Gracias a ustedes.
Okay.
Great. They will send them to Ingrid, Rachel. Thank you.
I'll leave the questions and I will email those to Ingrid, and then people can answer those after the event, and they have a chance to perhaps find some of the answers. I will put I'll put the I can also put the prizes here. I think I listed the prizes earlier, but I'll just remind everybody what they could win. So that's the bike seat cover, the postcard set, the pens, post-it notes, and laptop stickers. So those are all prizes that are up for grabs for anybody that's
we'll also post
correctly.
the questions in the chat. We'll post the questions in the chat room, and then they can send the answers directly to Ingrid. Ingrid, si puedes poner las preguntas en el chat del booth de ICE.
Claro que sí.
Gracias.
Ok, las pondré en el chat. Perfecto. Listo. para que vayan a hacer el clic en el bus y en la sección de chats van a estar las preguntas también. Ok, perfecto.
Okay, good, great. Well, we still, I think we have still about 20 minutes left. Is that right, Gabriel? We've got about 20 minutes left.
Yes.
Yes. So what I will try and do is go back to the IC Virtual Library platform, which I was trying to do earlier in the presentation, but the links were not working. So what I'm going to do is just stop share and reshare and just show a little bit of the platform. So I'm just going to stop sharing and I will go to the Virtual Library platform, which should be this one here. Okay, I'm going to share. Okay, and I'm going to go right back to just to the home page of the virtual library, which hopefully will work. Oh no, having problems with my internet again. Okay, I don't know why that's happening. Let's try it from here. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing my the platform now for the institution. And you can see this is where we host all of the content from the Institution of Civil Engineers Publishing Division. So that's all of the books and the journals. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour of some of the different areas, so you can see. So these are the journals. So you can go straight to the A to Z list of journals here. And you can go straight into one of the journals. So this is one of our key titles, research titles, Advances in Cement Research, for example. And I'm logged in as a user, so I will have access to all of the content. But if you don't, if you're not able to have access to all of the content, obviously if you're not a subscriber, then you can still see the essential metadata, but you obviously wouldn't see the full text. So it's showing everything as subscribed for me in terms of the content here. And there are lots of different ways to navigate around the content. So you can navigate by volume here at the side and go straight to one of those particular articles in that particular volume. Anything ahead of print is also listed here and is included in any subscription that you have as well. And if you are a user or your library has subscribed to this content, then what you can do is actually set up your own profile, which allows you to then subscribe to things like alerts and to recommend things as well to the library as a user. And you can also get email alerts as well as a user to the institution's platform through your library subscription. And if I just go to the books, so again, you've got a listing of the A to Z of books here. So again, it's listing all of the content across our books, but you're able to refine your searches down the side here to find a particular topic you're looking at. And you may want to also change the date range here, so you can make it more current content. This is a relatively new title here that we published last year on appraisal and repair of timber structures, for example. This is the title I mentioned actually in my presentation around water. So we can go to basic water treatment, which is one of the titles. And again, you're able to see all of the full text content chapter by chapter. And so you can see a full text. You can download a PDF. You can see a preview of that particular page as well. And again, there's the full text option. And all of the books, there will be obviously the biblio details up the top here, so you can see the authors and if there are any affiliations with those authors. So I go to just one of the particular chapters here, and there we are. We'll open up the full text here, so you can see subjects as well. So you can search by subject areas, energy, for example. We were talking quite a bit about the issue with water engineering and wastewater management, so transportation as well. Or you could just do a keyword search up the top here as well. So I could put in something like sustainability. And you can see it will bring up topics or specific articles around that word. So I could just go to sustainability. And then it will show you my result, the results. So it's showing that there's this amount of, or this number of articles or chapters, and this number of full books across that particular topic area there. And again, you're able to refine your search results along here by the date range. And you're also able to obviously go back down into a much more detailed subject area as well within sustainability. And it also breaks it down actually into slightly more specific topic areas, so environment, urban design and planning, and it's showing you the count of content that's there. And it's also listing then the journals that are relating to these publications that have brought it up in these search results. And I'm quickly going to see if I can share with you. So if I go back to, where is it now? The home page again. And you can also, as I said, there is an area of help here as well if you need any help with your searching. But we also do have some little video guides as well, which come with the toolkit tab. So if you're a librarian, you can go to the toolkit tab here, and we have quite a few resources that you can use to help promote or to, if you're having a trial, for example, there's some resources that you can use here to promote the trial with some banners. There's social media and web banners. And there's also some little tutorials as well on how to use the virtual library platform. And I mentioned how to sign up and to create your own profile as a user, and how to search for the content and how to use the content. So this is all good in terms of driving usage and helping your researchers understand how they can get the best out of this particular resource. And there are also flyers and catalogues as well, which may be useful to put onto any kind of intranet that you have. So that pretty much brings us up to sort of 10 minutes till the end of our scheduled time. So I won't go into any more details at the moment. I'll just allow for any potential questions or comments that people might have put in the chat, or do feel free to contact me or Ingrid after the presentation if that's easier for you. And I really appreciate all your attention today. I hope that you are successful in the quiz, and that we can send you some nice prizes to enjoy.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Let's see if we have any questions. ¿Tienen algunas preguntas? Tenemos un espacio abierto para preguntas y respuestas. Como les habíamos comentado, estas presentaciones van a estar disponibles después para que las revisen de nuevo. Adicionalmente, van a poder visitar el virtual booth de ICE y hacer preguntas vía el chat. Y ya obviamente les deseamos mucha suerte en el quiz de ICE. Y por favor envíen sus respuestas al correo de Ingrid. Let's wait to see if we have some questions.
Sure.
Everybody's very thankful. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rachel, for your time. Excellent presentation. All right, if we don't have any other questions, thank you again, Rachel. We'll keep the chat open to see if we get any requests. Ingrid,
Sure.
thank you so much. Muchísimas
Thank
gracias
you.
a todos. Y nos estaremos viendo ahorita en unos 10 minutos para la próxima presentación. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rachel. We appreciate
No
that.
problem.
Okay.
Well, I hope you have a good rest of day. Any questions, just let me know. Okay.
Thank you. Gracias
Thank
a
you.
todos.
Bye.
Bye bye. Gracias.